Hey friends, and welcome to day 5 of ratios. Today we're going to be doing more with the unitary method and word problems. So let's get right into it. So just a reminder from yesterday, when you are working these word problems and solving them according to unitary method, your goal is always to solve for one unit so that you can use that unit to multiply and solve for as many units as you need. All right, let's start here. So Abe, Ben, and Kathy shared a sum of money in the ratio of 6 to 3 to 5. Kathy received $80 more than Ben. How much money did Abe receive? Let's just start with our bar model here. I have Ben on top just because he has fewest units. So Ben had 3, Kathy had 5, and Abe had 6. So Kathy received $80 more than Ben. So let's look at our bar model and identify how many more units Kathy received than Ben and label those with the $80. So since she received 2 more units, those 2 units equal $80. Our question is, how much money did Abe receive? So we really want to solve for 6 units, don't we? So let's break that 80 units down into 1 first. So 2 units equals $80. So if we divide $80 by 2, that means that 1 unit is going to equal $40. Now we want to multiply that $40 times 6, and we get $240. And that is how much money Abe received. If you haven't done so already, please pause the video so you can make sure that you are all caught up with note-taking. All right, let's do the next one together. The ratio of gumballs is identical. Baskets A, B, and C is 5 to 3 to 2. Sorry, I read that wrong. The ratio of gumballs in identical baskets, so the baskets are the same. Gumballs are different. It's 5 to 3 to 2. Basket C and basket B weigh 4 kilograms altogether. We want to find the total weight of 3 baskets. All right, just like all of our word problems, let's just deal with one piece of information at a time. And for this problem, let's go ahead and start at the beginning. Since we have a ratio here, we should go ahead and draw our bar models. I drew them again so that the basket with the least number of units is on top, and that's basket C. So we've got basket C with 2 units, B with 3 units, A with 5 units. Basket C and B weigh 4 kilograms altogether. That's our next piece of information. So let's draw some little brackets that show that those units together weigh 4 kilograms. There we go. And we want to know the total weight of all 3 baskets. So I've got a little bracket there to show what our question is. So let's go ahead and solve for 1 unit. So 5 units is going to equal 4 kilograms. Now if we solve for 1 unit, that means we're going to have to divide both sides by 5, which is going to give us a fraction. So our 1 unit is going to equal 4/5 of a kilogram, and that's okay. I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm not going to divide that out into a decimal. We're going to use that, and we're going to multiply that times 10 units, which is our total number of units, and see what we get. So if we multiply 4/5 times 10, we're going to get 8 kilograms. And here's how I got that, you guys. We're really multiplying 4/5 times 10 over 1. So we multiply the numerators, 4 times 10, we get 40, and the denominators, 5 times 1, we get 5. And if we simplify that fraction, 40/5, we would get 8 kilograms. All right, go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to try to work through the next problem on your own, and then come back and see if you got it right. All right. Hopefully you did that. Okay, let's take a look at number 3. So Maggie's savings is 1/3 of Sam's savings. So right away, you should be able to draw a bar model like this, where Maggie has 1 unit and Sam has 3 units. And then letter A says, what is the ratio of Sam's savings to Maggie's savings? So that means we want Sam first. So he has 3 units, Maggie has 1. So that's going to be 3 to 1. Now letter B says, if Sam saves $25 more than Maggie, how much does Maggie save? Okay, so You should have hopefully assigned those 2 extra units that Sam has to $25, and then of course we're just going to solve for unitary method. So 2 units equals 25. That means 1 unit equals 25 divided by 2, which is going to be $12.50. And we are done because Maggie only has 1 unit. So $12.50 times 1, of course, is $12.50. All right, here's another one you should go ahead and try on your own and then come back to the video and see if you were right. So it says that the ratio of the number of cats to dogs is 3 to 2. The ratio of the number of dogs to birds is 4 to 7. Find the ratio of their number of cats to dogs to birds. Hopefully you have started to draw a bar model. So there's too much information to deal with at one time in this word problem, so let's start at the top. We want to model the ratio of the number of cats to dogs. Oh, there are all my models. Never mind. And then we want to model the ratio of the number of dogs to birds, 4 to 7. And it says find the ratio of the number of cats to dogs to birds. So hopefully you remember that we can't really find the ratio of all 3 things unless the units for dogs is the same in both examples. So we have these 2 ratios. We've got cats to dogs. So, we've got cats right here and dogs, and then dogs and birds. So since we need for dogs to have the same number of units in both scenarios, we need to multiply dogs times 2. And if we multiply dogs times 2, we have to multiply cats times 2. So that gives us 4 units for dogs and 6 units for cats. Now, is that an equivalent ratio of what we just had? Let's go back and just look. So I had a 3 to 2 ratio, cats to dogs, and then I multiplied both numbers by 2, and now I have a 6 to 4. And the answer is yes, that's exactly the same. That's an equivalent ratio. So we found an equivalent ratio that allows our dog units to be the same in both scenarios so that we can compare everything. So now hopefully you can look at these bar models and see that the ratio of cats to dogs to birds is going to be 6 to 4 to 7. All right, now if there are 120 cats, how many animals are there altogether? Well, this is the same thing, guys. We're just going to solve this with the unitary method. Since cats have 6 units, we're going to assign those 6 units to 120. We're going to break that down and solve for 1 unit. So 120 divided by 6 is 20. We want to know how many animals there are altogether. So that means we're going to solve for 17 units. So now we need to multiply 20 times 17, and that's going to equal 340 animals. All right, let's do one more here. So we have the ratio of the number of Jim's to Ruby's marbles. It's 2 to 1, and the ratio of Rudy's marbles to Lane's marbles is 4 to 5. Okay, go ahead and stop the video and try to solve this on your own, and then continue. Okay, so letter A says find the ratio of the number of Jim's marbles to Rudy's, not Ruby, to Lane's. Okay, so in the first scenario, we have Jim and Rudy with a ratio of 2 to 1. And in the second scenario, we have Rudy and Lane. Rudy has 4 units, Lane has 5. So hopefully you remember that we need for Rudy's units to be the same in both scenarios so that we can compare Jim to Rudy to Lane. So let's find an equivalent ratio where Rudy's units equal 4 in that top scenario. So in order to do that, we're going to multiply both Rudy and Jim times 4. This is just like a fraction, you guys. You can't change the numerator or the denominator in a fraction without doing the same thing to the other thing. Okay, so just like I know in 5th grade you always used to say, whatever you do to the numerator, you have to do to the denominator. It's kind of the same thing with ratios, and I know that you've already seen that ratios can be phrased as fractions, and so it's really the same thing. So let's multiply both Jim and Rudy times 4. So there's Rudy's units, and there are Jim's units. So Jim now has 8, Rudy now has 4 in both situations, and Lane has 5, and your ratio is going to be 8 to 4 to 5. Okay, now if Jim has 16 marbles, how many marbles do they have altogether? If Jim has 16 marbles, that 16 marbles equals 8 units. So we're going to assign that 8 units to 16 marbles. Now we want to solve for 1, so 16 divided by 8 is 2. If we want to know how many marbles they have altogether, we need to solve for 17 units. So we're going to multiply 17 times 2, and that's going to equal 34 marbles. All right, you guys, that's it for this quick little unitary lesson reminder. If you were in class today, you got, or if you got a buddy sheet at home, you should have received a worksheet packet called Ratio 1. The whole thing is your homework. However, we were going to do numbers 7 through 10 in class. So hopefully you got the notes for that, and go ahead and if you're at home, make sure you try those on your own. Numbers 11 and 12, so the back page, are bonus problems, but I bet by now you're feeling pretty confident with this unitary method and you can go ahead and try those. All right, that's it.